What do you think in general about the housing situation in Canada?
There's a lack of government coordination to come together from a municipal, provincial, and federal standpoint. They all have different policies and they conflict with each other. So I don't really think anything's going to end up happening. It'll just be a continued housing crisis.
How the housing situation in Canada makes you feel?
I don't think I get a whole picture here, so I would say at least in Vancouver area, the price is a little bit higher based on the local salary. Yeah.
Makes me worried. I kind of wish that I would have gotten into real estate much sooner instead of just 7 years ago. I wish we would have invested a lot sooner than that, because it does make me worried for my two girls that are almost in their mid-20s, and I wonder and I worry what it will be like for them going forward with trying to find a place, even purchasing a small condo, let alone a house or a townhouse, detached house.
I'm happy to have a place, because if I didn't, life would be even worse. It would be even more stressful, but the whole process is very stressful.
Since you have been here for 3 years, how prices have changed since you just moved to now?
I think it raised like crazy in 2021 and then going down and recently just rebounds.
How do you think my generation, maybe your kids, will be able to buy their own property here in BC?
I don't think he can buy a house by his own. Maybe a condo, that's possible, but probably no. Yeah. The average price there for a single family home is about 3 to 5 million, and the local salary, the minimum is about $16 an hour, so I see a huge difference
So
here.
it's not possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you have to get out of big city centers. You got to go to less populated places. The interior, if it's BC, other provinces, prairie provinces.
I really have my doubts, just because the market is it's saturated and things are just getting expensive, and it really makes me worried. I know that they would be able to afford and save up enough for a down payment, but how each of them will move forward is uncertain for me.
Hopefully you have parents who will leave you money to buy a house, because I don't know that I would have been able to get into the market without that happening for me.
What are the underlying causes in your opinion?
Underdevelopment, immigration required to even have Canada growing as a country. Our per capita GDP hasn't increased since 2017, but our overall GDP has increased. So the only reason that's happened is because more people have come in, not because we're more productive as people.
I know a lot of overseas investors. I understand that there's apartments, condos, townhouses in Vancouver purchased by overseas investors that have been left vacant. And as a result, any vacancies are taken up quite quickly. Again, I'm not as familiar with it as I should be. You know, you hear about the news and you hear about the real estate, the crisis of like just being able to find a place to live, and how people are actually being pushed further out from Vancouver out into the valley, where housing is it's a little bit more ample, it's a little bit more affordable. People are moving out to Mission, Maple Ridge, Chilliwack. It really makes me sad. It makes me worried for my two girls.
Any suggestion or changes you would like to see from the government or local organizations?
I would like to see the government, though, restrict a lot of ownership from people that purchase, again, foreign investors that buy houses, townhouses, and they come and they only visit occasionally, and they don't live there full-time, and they're not a permanent resident. And so while some of these rooms and houses remain vacant, there are people out there that they would be able to invest. They have the money and they're able to take a mortgage, but just for what they're able to afford, that's a completely different situation. The government, they hit everybody with the speculation tax. They want to make sure that, if you're a resident there, then they want to make sure that you own the home that you're living in the home that you own.
And what is the solution? Like, you think the government is responsible for what is going on now?
I would think so, 100%. But you can't really fix a corrupt system, because no matter who's in charge, everything's always going to be screwed up.